grapes today. The grandkids couldn't come, so we're going to get a little reading on the Brix meter here and see what the juices come in as. There, beautiful. Oh, they're sweet. I got 1055. The 2020 grape harvest. So what we're going to do is we're going to get in here and cut some of these off. We'll get the little one.
Watch out for the bees.
Watch out for the bees. Get this one here. Oh, this one's wrapped around a couple times. Cut your fingers. Got it. Okay, we're gonna get these onto the ground and show you what we got. As we fill up the kettle. Hope we won't bump the camera. These are the 20 pounds of grapes that we pulled off of the vines out here this year in our backyard. Got a lot of Pyment we're making today. A lot of Pyment. We get these grapes ground up in a food processor, and we're going to be mixing them with honey. You'll have 5 gallons of this. Lovely, lovely stuff. Alright, we take our grapes, you can dump them right in, and we like to put them in a blender. Makes life a little easier instead of doing them by hand. And we'll dump them in the sanitized pail here, hopefully. I'll let the bottom drip in there.
You know. That's 1 quart so far. Quart 1.
So we got more, a lot more to go here, folks. We got, man, oh man, shockingly we have, this hasn't come up, almost 2 gallons. According to the bucket, when we get the next pile of grapes in here, we'll have 2 gallons of grape juice. Nice for the Pyment start. And here's our honey of choice. A lot of background noise. This is the Orange Blossom honey, a 63-pound pail. Those who are interested, and we got the metal bisulfate ready to go in, and we'll be on our way. 1/4 teaspoon.
1/4 teaspoon.
1/4 teaspoon of metabisulfate, potassium metabisulfate.
That's more. You gotta love that.
No, it's not too bad. Won't hurt nothing. To stop wild yeast fermentation from growing on the must, and we'll get the honey water and the rest of it in here shortly. Sanitized here. We're gonna. That's such a paste. I don't know if that's gonna come in. That was such a paste. You trusting it?
Yeah.
See what the. That's hard to read. She's according to this, 1055. We're gonna get 1 gallon of Orange Blossom honey to start with. We're going to be shooting for 1.115 or so on the scale, the refractometer. We're hoping to come in at about a 13% type ABV when all said and done on the Pyment. Kettle, I have 1.5 gallons of water. It was boiled the night before to remove the chloramines and chlorines. We're still going to add, we're going to do the pH when she's all done. And in the kettle next to it here is colder water that was boiled the night before also to make up our difference in the bucket. So we're going to get our honey in here and dissolve it, and then see how much more water we have to add to make up the mark. And then tomorrow we'll pitch the yeast. You want to let it set overnight so that metal bisulfate kills the wild yeast, and come morning time we'll pitch the yeast. We'll be using MSO5 Mangrove Jack's yeast. It's a mead yeast. It's a good yeast. We used it before. So on with the honey dump. We got our water volume in here, and we'll probably add a little more once we see what our what we're going to be on our refractometer here. We got the grape juice and the honey juice in there. So we'll get a reading here, see what we get. Everything's been sterilized, sanitized. We hit the mark right on. 1.104, 1.104. And we can thin it out a little bit more or add more honey. Trying to bring the ABV up a little bit more. We're going to add approximately a cup of honey or two. It's falling. Should be stirring though. Your hands clean. Because we're going to add a little bit more water. I'm holding so it's going to fall, but I got it. Our final original gravity right here. Let's see what we got. Wow. It's so hard to... Nice. 1 point. It's not dark enough. 109. 1.109. Sits out here anyway. Temporarily. Metal bisulfate's in.
Yep. And there we go. Ready to start the process.
Squat down here. Back with the Pyment. Day 2. We're about to pitch the yeast. We're going to do a little recap on what we did. I got a sanitized spoon here because we're going to give it a quick stir. Yesterday we went ahead and we added 13 pounds of honey. This will be the deal. It was actually 13 pounds of honey to 22 pounds of grape, and 22 pounds of grapes made 2.5 gallons of juice. So the honey and the water we only added 2 gallons of water to this. 2.5 gallons of water to the juice. Right in that range. No sugars. So we're going to give it a quick stir. We're going to pitch the yeast. It looks like she's trying to turn into a must already. The grapes have come to the top. So one quick stir. Is that open?
Nope.
Open it up.
I can't hold this and cut it.
The wife is going to cut the package of meat. Oh, it's a rip pack. It's a rip pack. Once again, it's a rip pack.
Okay.
So one quick stir of this just to bring the stuff back to the surface. This is thick as honey, I'll tell you that. And that spoon is out. And I'm going to sprinkle the yeast in. After 24 hours, we put metabisulfate in there to kill the wild yeast. And then you pitch your normal yeast. Give me the spray bottle. And we're about to put our cover back on here. I like to spray everything down twice, 3 times, 5 times, 8 times, someplace in there. And we're going to lock this down and fill that bubbler. We'll fill the bubbler once we lift this up on our brew shelf. We'll fill our bubbler with sanitizer. Mark the calendar as August 31st.
30th.
30th, 2021.
Shelley's birthday.
My daughter's birthday. The Pyment is in place. 5 gallons. I'll turn the valve out of harm's way. And we'll see fermentation like starting here in about 12 to 14 hours. All right, after 14 days on the Pyment, we're going to rack it into a carboy down on the floor here. See if the camera's picking that up. I'm not sure. We hope we don't have a stuck thing with all the must from the grapes, but here we go. We're hoping she flows really good without stopping. It's got a nice grape color. And we're going to add the fermented K to continue the fermentation on this. And let's just hope we don't have a stuck bucket here. Seems to be going, but a little slow. So I'm hoping she's going to keep flowing. I see a lot of grape skins making it through there. And that's okay, they'll settle out on the next racking. But we're just hoping she'll come out of the primary and go right into the secondary without plugging the hose, because when she does plug the hose, then we have some issues. You might have to suck on it, blow on it, or go ahead and grab your bottling wand or your siphon tube and siphon it out manually, which is more sterilization, more. We got to go ahead and get it sanitized more. It's just a lot more work, but it seems to be transferring pretty decent here. You can see it picking up some grape skins along the way. But the color looks really nice. Doesn't it? Doesn't it?
Red.
It's a red Pyment.
Just like the tomatoes.
Just like the tomatoes. So this is after 14 days. Like I say, we'll add a little bit of the fermented K to revigorate the fermentation. I'm glad the wife didn't cut it open and I spill it all over. And she'll put that in another bag. We'll give it about a spoonful of this. And she's 14 days in. She was still fermenting in a bubbler, so we don't take a reading or nothing at this time. I'm going to get the fermented K in right now while it's still transferring. I don't spill it on the hose here, but I probably will. Oh, there it goes. My hand is shaking, so got about a spoonful and a half. That's probably plenty. And we'll just get that in another bag where it seems to. There's where those little clips come in handy. Can I use this one? That's sitting on top.
It's not mixing around.
So she's going. And I think I got some leftover in here. It's going to be more than 5 gallons. But we're going to take this right to the tippy top. We want to leave a little headspace like that for fermentation. Otherwise she'll be spitting all over the ceiling and the wall again. Here's the rest of the grape must from the Pyment that we drained out of the thing. We squeezed it out and let it drip to get all the juice. But that's all your skins and your grapes from the grapes. Rack today. So let's get a closer look at the Pyment. And she is just bubbling away. Look at that. We went ahead and added some fermented K after the racking. And she's just running beautiful.